Hello everyone and welcome back to another round of GSR action. Tonight we go to Bahrain for round 2 of the Tier 3 Championship. I am MM Overdrive and by my side, I'm not the only Matt in the commentary booth. I am joined by Matt Solberg. How are you doing tonight, Matt?
Hello. How is everyone doing? I'm doing good, well. First time commentating Tier 3 in GSR, so quite excited for that. After the small chaos from the last race, we're hoping for a nice, clean, and very competitive race, just like Tier 1 had 2 days ago. I'm very excited for that. And indeed, um, too much in the commentary booth. I think that will spark a great duo for us. So I'm feeling quite well.
Yeah, for sure. And on the topic of last time out, we shall quickly recap the race the race results, not the race standings. But yeah, it was last time out. Daz took the win with a very commanding victory, about 12 seconds to the next car, after having damage on lap 1 and on a very good comeback drive. So a very good race from him to take the fastest lap and the race win. GSR Callum, after getting a nice pole position, just about finished P2, hanging on to the two chasing cars of Milking both and All Ball in P3 and P4. Speedy with a very good race and an unfortunate strategy mess up puts it in P5. The Unsainted with a very good drive from outside the points to finish in P6, a very good drive from him. DKEX did have a bit of misfortune during his race, but he managed to recover P7. Michak in P8, Mishio in P9, still can't pronounce it, and Infinity scored his first points in the league, finishing P10. On to the constructors standings, we have Williams out in top with 32 points, Aston Martin in second on 22, Mercedes following close behind on 19, followed closely by Ferrari, and then from then on we have Sauber on 8 points, Haas on 4, McLaren on 1, and the rest are yet to score, which should hopefully change this weekend, because what we do know is that Tier 3 is very unpredictable, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, and it's quite interesting how we see Red Bull and Racing Bulls being very strong, especially in Tier 1. And here, both of them, both of those teams are yet to score in Tier 3. So I think the addition of Tier 3 also allows us for an incredibly swinging combined constructors battle. So that will be interesting. Of course, we will cover it once again after round 2, as we are updating it per round. So in tier 1 next race, we will have the next update. Yeah, here we have Milking Bofer right now on finish his lap up to P4. His Ferrari compatriot from Tier 1 scored a race win, Kuro, in round 2 of Tier 1 a couple of days back. So it will be interesting to see. Gibbet is not improving, so he has still a couple of guys to do their laps. Who do you think could take pole out of all of them, and who do you think could perhaps go on to, well, early prediction, that could perhaps go on to the race win? That's also, we see very tight gap on the top 3,000s between the top two drivers so far in the qualifying.
Yeah, very close out at the top so far in this qualifying session. It's important to note that some drivers for that were in the last race in the contention for the win did get moved up to Tier 2. So that's the likes of GSR, Callum and Walters, I believe. Daz is going to be staying in the tier under a few conditions, but yeah, he's still looking very rapid on those low assists. Currently on pole position, followed closely behind by Orbal though. I think also one to keep an eye out for, who's not in the top 3 right now, is Milking Bofa. He had a very strong performance last time out, and he did say he is going to be going for that championship this season after a very good result, managing to defend from the Aston Martin all those laps. But yeah, on a lap with the Mercedes Zeus Gaming here, I'm not too sure how we did last time out in Australia, but what we do know about these lower tiers is that the qualifying sessions there may be big gaps, but it's all to play for in the race.
Indeed, and I'm just checking. Zeus Gaming actually retired, but his grid was only. No, it's not updated like that. Wait, sorry. Zeus Gaming actually, he started 18th actually. So he hasn't had the best qualifying. Right now he's slotting into P12. So it's not the best performance, as we're still waiting for 5 drivers to set their laps. It might be disappointing to see Soren struggling a little bit, as he had some quite strong results last season in Tier 2. Obviously scoring a couple of podiums even, so which was ecstatic for him, but he was quite a strong driver. His teammate Jacho, who might have seen better on paper, actually never managed to score a podium, so that was very nice from the Zauber driver that season. He's racing for Alpine. Vahur, Ziu's teammate, goes up to P9, so far we have pretty calm qualifying. Couple of people still yet to set the laps, but yeah, there's quite a gap between Bigosco, Bofor, and Obel and us. So we'll see what they can do, as Uonep now goes to P3, actually slotting in very close behind Obel.
Yeah, very good lap from him there. Unsane to put in a very solid lap in, putting it at P7. Trying to keep up that run of form from last time out. Very, very good racecraft from him. I don't believe the quali pace was just about there, so it does seem like he's making up for the sort of weaknesses in his driving style and trying to sort of claw back at the potential points he could have got last race. It's sort of the period of qualifying where no one's really in sync with each other. We don't know who's setting a lap. I do believe Daz is on a lap right now, trying to improve on that 128.4. Let's see what he can do. Burning all his ERS. 1/10 up right now as well, which is really good. Going into the final corner, or well, penultimate corner, but this doesn't really count as a corner. Flat on the throttle, burning the ERS, DRS open. It's a 128.2. Very, very good lap from Daz, putting him on provisional pole.
1.5 tenths up.
1.5
actually
tenths.
On his lap. Wow.
Really, really good lap.
Yeah, that might be tough to beat here in this grid in Tier 3. Oh, I saw someone jumping up there. I think it was... Oh, I did not notice, actually. But someone jumped up from the bottom. But yeah, you're just waiting for the driver's final laps. Michio is on his first timed lap, finally managed to get out, and now running down onto the finish line, onto the timing line for us, and it's a P10 performance for now, provisional P10, 129.3. Let's see Gibbet, 1 second of improvement. But that doesn't put him far, though. So his first lap was pretty bad in comparison to what he can do, but the second lap isn't that good compared to the others, though.
Yeah, the very, very, very big improvement there, but it's just fine margins between P13 and P10 now, which is just costing them those few positions, which could be very huge coming into the race. But Biggo now across the line, burning all his battery. Is it going to be pole position? It is. A 128.1 from Biggo. Very, very good lap, topping Daz's lap and putting him on provisional pole. Will Shrek improve on his lap? I think he's not on one, but the other Red Bull of Pavel Yurkovich is coming up towards the line. Is it going to be an improvement? It's a 29.3, which puts him P10 in the cluster of cars, which are very, very close to each other in terms of lap time.
Yeah, he's slotting in just 9 thousandths ahead of the pole behind him, Michio. And speaking of the pole, speaking of my nation, well, I'm happy Bigosco is up to P1 right now. So it's a very nice performance from the poleman, and actually proved me wrong that Daz's lap can't be beaten. But I think Daz will go out for one more attempt. Gibbet might be tight for it, actually, and I'm not sure how much exactly time right now is there left, but he might be tight to set another lap. Speaking of drivers who raced last season in Tier 2, Micha from the Haas is up to P6, so also a pretty good performance from him. But of course, this Tier 3 is mostly about the debutants, as all of them are quite inexperienced, especially in our league. But also we have the likes of, as you mentioned, Pavel, Soren, JXB, GB. And yes, we'll see how the Speedy also raced last season in Tier 2, so he's doing pretty well P8 so far. As we will see what Ioanep can do on his next timed lap.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how long's left of the qualifying session. It does seem like Ioanep is going for his last run. About 3 minutes left in this session, so we will start seeing people going out of the pits to start their final runs of the qualifying session. But yeah, heading out of the final corner. Let's see what he can do. He's currently P4. He's got a clean track in front of him. It's him. It's just him in the car right now, trying to get the best lap in possible. He's got only find about half a tenth to put it into the top 3. He'll obviously be trying to get onto the front row, which I think is probably one of the best places to start at this track. It's very hard to make something happen from behind that we did see in Tier 1. I only got up to P2 starting from P3, and I got very lucky that Speed Demon disconnected to even get that position to take the lead. So we're going to have to see how that all plays out for some of these drivers fighting for pole here.
Gotta milk the Speed Demon's curse everywhere on GSR streams. I think it's gonna become, well, it's already become one of the most iconic, biggest legends kind of lore of GSR and in its history, obviously. And it's pretty long history. As Ioanep, one of our debutants, it is his first race also today, because I don't think he raced Australia. He's racing for the McLaren. Unfortunately, in the absence of Infinity, who is also an incredible lore driver. Oh, that will be a lap abandoned then. In a very weird way, he could have actually easily lost the car there and perhaps hit the wall. But that's his lap abandoned for some reason. He wasn't happy. Perhaps it wasn't enough improvement for him.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not the lap that he wanted to lock in for qualifying. I just want to see who's on the lap. I think Zeloni is on one. As he's coming up towards the line, very low on the battery, burning all the way to the line. Is it going to be an improvement? It's P15. That is his banker, so I'm pretty sure he should be kind of happy with that. It's not the worst. It's better than starting last. So, yeah, very solid lap from him there. I think as... oh, that's the other Mercedes crossing the line. Zeus Gaming.
Yeah.
I think he's starting the lap.
Yeah. Yeah, he's starting the lap, yeah. Well, I saw that Obel started his lap, and both Daz and Bigoshko are on their out lap. Oh, Bigoshko also rocking that beautiful V-car, pink V-car, which is I will be keeping. I will keep repeating. It's my favorite livery out of all this game, honestly. But anyways, Shreki now. Will go down to the line. In front of him there's a Williams, that's Speedy starting his lap. Shreki though, will he be able to improve? No, it's very... it's not an improvement for him. It's not an improvement for Mika as well, who finishes his qualifying on provisional P6, the Railboat driver on provisional P7, as Soren improves, but Soren only goes up to P16. Very lowly for the Tier 2 podium finisher from last season.
Yeah, that's not going to be where he wants to be right now, but we do know that he's a lot stronger in the race than he is in qualifying, so he'll be trying to see where he can work from there.
Daz didn't start his lap.
Daz didn't get it in time, so that's going to be huge.
Yeah, I think so.
Pole.
And Obel gets it.
A 1:28.0, really quick lap. It's all going to be about what Big Go can do to respond, I think.
He's not improving. He's
that's
not improving,
very
though.
Unfortunate. He's not improving.
2 down.
Let's see what Zeus can do. He was down in the middle sector. He finds a bit of time. P17 for him. I think Jibbid's on the lap as well, in front of the potential pole sitter, one of the candidates for pole, heading into the final corner, down into third gear. Very, very good exit. Runs quite wide. Very low on ERS. Let's see what he can do. Burning up to the line. Can he make it into the top 10? No, he doesn't improve. And Bigo's abandoned. So it's looking like it's going to be an all pole position.
Yeah,
what a lap from him.
Not improving. What about Speedy though? Down to the line. It's a little bit of an improvement, but it's not enough for anything. Shreki has invalidated, and then Mika also finished his lap. That's it then. Obel will be on pole with an incredible comeback at the end here to steal the pole away from both Daz and Bigoshko. So wow, I really think I wasn't looking fully, but I think Daz just simply didn't make it in time to start his lap. So a very disappointing one for him, as he for sure hoped to have perhaps done it, to have perhaps stolen this pole from those guys. But yeah, wow, incredibly interesting.
Yeah, and the worst bit of all that is that he has used a set of soft tires in trying to set that lap, so it's going to be very unfortunate for him. That's one less set of tires that he has. But there you have it. That is our tier 3 grid. So you have Orbital on pole, Biggo in P2, taking the front row, Daz in P3, Yuonep on his debut in P4, Milk and Bofar in P5, Mishak in P6, Shrek P7, Speedy in P8, Unsainted in P9, Pavel Yakovic P10, Michio in P11, Vahora in P12, Jibber in P13, Dkex 14, Shaloni 15, his Alpine teammate Soren in 16th, Zeus in P17, One Strawberry in 18th, and JXB in 19th. I would just like to talk about Yuon up here because it's not uncommon in this league for rookies to have a very good race. We saw Daz last time out having a very, very good performance coming from near what seemed like an improbable position to take a win to actually doing it and winning by quite some margin as well. If I do mean to toot my own horn a bit, last season as well, I did win on my debut, and I'm pretty sure that there's been some very other good debut performances. Aaron Gibbo in the fight for wins on his debut races last season, Mad Max Trixie as well taking a win or two. So yeah, what do we think about Yuon? I think he's
actually took Trixie actually took a win on his debut.
On his debut, yeah.
Yeah, that Qatar race was his debut. Just edging in front of you in that race. So quite interesting how the tides swung back there. I just want to tell you quickly. Could you bump up the cars a little bit, the noise of the game? I didn't want to interrupt Quali, but actually, Soren mentioned that it could be a little bit louder, so thank you for that. And yeah, get ready because I think the formation lap is off.
Yeah.
As we do now for every chair. So when it loads, then I will let you do it. But yeah, well, Yuonep indeed could be a great performance, and well, there's a couple of guys that had high hopes before this tier 3 season. I would say even Soren could have had high hopes. Oh, Pavel Jurkovic. Could you get him in maybe quickly? If do you have him as friends?
Unfortunately, no. I don't have any of the T3 drivers.
Ah, damn.
Which actually,
but unfortunately, I will just ping them. But yeah, Gibbet, for example, yeah, it's quite interesting to see that he's struggling so far. He had high hopes, so we'll see. And yeah, be interesting.
He didn't even get a chance to race in Australia as well, which is very unfortunate.
Ah, indeed, yeah.
So we're gonna have to see how that goes for him. I'm not sure when everyone's gonna have readied up. We did abandon the 5-minute break rule from last weekend after the chaotic scenes out in Australia. But yeah, here we are on the grid. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights for round 2 of tier 3 here in GSR. And it's lights out, and away we've got 3 jump starts already off the line. Orbital getting a very good start. As Shrek's going to the inside, I think he's dropping back positions after jumping the start. Orbital leads into turn 1, followed behind by Daz. Biggo losing bigly on this race start, as he's already down into P3. Daz takes P2. He's looking to set up a move on Orbital here, as I'm not sure what's happening. He's just falling down the order. A lot is going on in the back of the grid. They're about 8 wide back there. But Biggo's looking to seem like he's really struggling. You want it round the outside. Very good move from him. As Mishak as well getting past. Trying to hold it around the outside here. And he does. But they're going side by side still. Really good move. As Biggo's going to go off on the exit. Speedy's going to go for as well. A really, really bad start for Biggo. Yeah, for Biggo here. Speedy's going to get through. He's going to almost drop down to P6. And it's just not looking good for him. But out in front, Orbital's off to a really good start as they're going side by side into the hairpin. This is beautiful racing, leaving just about enough space. We've seen a front wing being broken. I think that's Saloni's. But wow, what a battle on the opening lap.
Yeah, that was an incredibly clean one from Bigoshko, very respectful. Even though he was losing, tumbling down the order massively, he did let the people pass him quite cleanly. But he seems to indeed be struggling. I also noticed that Shreki actually made kind of a mistake as he tried to let the drivers past. He broke them so much that I think either Vahur or Zeus, yeah, that would be Vahur, got front wing damage actually from that. So that's quite unfortunate that we already have a couple of people pitting. Yeah, sorry, that's Unsainted and
Oh,
Shreki
10-second
with the
penalty.
drive-through penalties, yeah, and then Dickex perhaps with front wing damage as well. But coming back here to the lead, Obel indeed has managed to pull away a second already on Daz, and the gaps are stretching in the top four as all of them are in between around 8, 9 tenths between each other. Also would be worth to check on what tires they are, because I think most of them they are on mediums. But milking Beaufort is on hards, and Mika with a rapid start from softs. So that's quite a bold move from him. Let's see how that pays off for him then.
Yeah, very, very interesting start. I'd also like to mention that JXB, or Job F1 as we were joking about it, is already up into P8 from last. P9 to P8, a really, really good start from him. But yeah, Jibbit, it's just been very unfortunate for him, just not getting the start that he wanted. Already down as P19, let's see if he can make something work from here. But it's still Orbital out in front. The top two have broken DRS to the field behind. And this is going to be the first time that we're going to see these two go at it. Maybe down into turn 1, 5 tenths is the gap. Daz has no ERS. Orbal's also very low. It's going to be a drag race down to turn 1. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Is Daz going to go for it? He seems like he's harvesting. He doesn't want to go for it. He's going to wait for turn 4. As Mishak is going to go for the move on Yonep. And that's a very bold move around the outside. He's going to miss out on DRS though. He might be able to get back at him. Is Daz going to go for it into here? I don't believe so. Yeah, they're just going to hold positions for now. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a late dive from Ioneb, and that's a front wing damage to one of them, or one of their end plates gone. But now they're being squeezed out in Mika in between Bigoshko, and Bigoshko makes the contact with Ioneb. Bigoshko tumbling down the order even further. So Ioneb with a little bit of not that great racing. That was a really late dive there on Mika to try to take a position back, but they tapped and spun each other out. I was just about to say that that would put the both Haas drivers in P2 and P3 positions, which would be incredible for them to hold on to that. But yeah, very unfortunate there. That was a little bit sketchy from Ioneb, I would say, and that actually put Speedy up to P3. So an incredibly lucky result for him, as here Daz now much closer to the back of Oval. I'm sorry for that. Oval trying to break the toe from the Haas driver. But let's see, Haas driver going round the outside and taking exquisitely that position with the help of DRS and the ERS.
Yeah, very good move there. Let's see if Orbal can get back at him. He's now got the DRS heading down into turn 4. He doesn't seem like he's going to be burning. We did learn from Australia he is a very patient driver, so we shall be seeing traits of that this race. In the midfield, it is close here. It's turning into a bit of a DRS train, similar to those that happen in Tier 1 with the very, very big DRS trains up and down the grid. But yeah, no movement in the midfield so far. Maybe we shall see some lower down the grid as some people try salvage their races after some lap 1 incidents. But one Strawberry has already got wing damage again. After early pit stop as Zeus Gaming has lost the rear end coming out of turn 4. It's a very tricky corner, I won't lie. You just don't know when to get the power down. It's really, really easy to spin.
And he lets Shreki there as he spins again, actually. So yeah, his tires must have cooked up there massively out of turn 4, and now he's just losing grip all over. Very unfortunate as he will get passed most surely by Dickex now, who is right behind him, who also seems to be struggling a little bit on the exit. But I think we should come back to the battle on the lead because Obel is not giving it up. Friedton's separating them out of the final corner. That's managing to use his ERS a little bit to pull away, but he doesn't have much, and Obel has the DRS. He's diving down inside, trying to put his nose on the inside of Daz, but it didn't quite work there. Maybe he'll be able to try once again into turn 4. Daz harvesting some energy, and Obel dives down the inside into turn 4. Daz defends it quite well though, using a little bit of the push from the outside lane, and he gets the defense done very nicely. But I think this will be a battle that will go on and on throughout the whole race.
Yeah, it's already seeming to get quite heated between the two, as they're going for it quite often. As we see the RB and the Red Bull going side by side, Pavel Yurkovic and one Strawberry. Strawberry trying to go into the inside, into this S section. He's got wing damage. He's not going to have much downforce. He's trying to hang on to it. Pavel Yurkovic with the more downforce holding on to it. Strawberry with a very late set down the inside, manages to make the move stick. What an awesome move from one Strawberry into that hairpin. And Pavel Yurkovic, he just looks too far behind to go for that into the next onto the next DRS straight. But yeah, back out in front, these two are just going at it. They're saving ERS, and they're still, well, they are losing to Speedy. Maybe Speedy can get in this fight as well.
Look at Speedy, yeah, look at Speedy. He's just gained a second on them. I think the gap was around 2.6, 2.7 seconds, so he is gaining on them in some ways. They will be pulling away thanks to the DRS though, as Obel will be trying once again, although he's a little bit further away now going into turn 1.
Yeah, just a bit too far.
But Bigoshko though, on Mika. Bigoshko gets the move done. Mika's tires will be dying soon, most probably, his softs. Milking Bofor might be in a very good position here, because we know he has the pace, and he's starting on hards. If there's not going to be any safety cars before the medium runners take their first stop, as Pavel Yurkovic outbrakes himself a little bit, but he regains the position on the V-Carb. And now they go very closely. Pavel Yurkovic, I think, tries to let him pass, and now the Unsainted goes past both of them. And Pavel Yurkovic outbrakes himself again. It's a little bit of a chaos there. The drivers are trying to get used to racing wheel to wheel. Perhaps they're not that used to being a little bit more inexperienced as they make contact again, and Pavel Yurkovic is spun round into turn 6 and 7 complex.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for him, as Zeus Gaming is coming to the pits for a fresh set of hard tires. But yeah, back out in front, we're seeing a lot of aggressive defending, even people going over the pit lane line to defend and try break the slipstream, as the slipstream it's not that huge on this game, but it's very important in trying to make an overtake, with how hard overtaking is to make on this game. But Speedy is now in that DRS. He's not going to be able to make a move just yet, but Orbital might be. He's closing in down into turn 1, burning the ERS. He's going to fake to the inside. Is he going to commit? He's just about going to. They go side by side. He's got the DRS as well. He's going to go for a switchback, maybe set something up into turn 4. He's cut the curb a bit. That might be a warning from there. DRS is open. The rear wing flap is open. Burning the ERS. Is he going to go to the inside? No, he's not close enough. Further back, do we see Biggo going for the move on you on up? No. Everyone seems to just be holding stations. A lot more patience than last week is what I'm definitely noticing. But the racing is for sure quite good so far.
Yeah, but actually this lap has delivered, because not only Biggo did try to go for a move on Yuonep, couldn't quite get it done, but most importantly, Milking Bofer has gone past Mika, so he is now the first driver on tires that are different than mediums, as Obel gets really close to the back of Daz. Speedy also, only 3/10 around the second separating all three of them. Speedy has picked up his pace massively, but I think Yuonep, Biggo and Bofer, all of them are also catching up to this group, so we might see a big train of cars, which, as I was gonna say, will favor Bofer a lot, as he will have the freshest tires if a safety car doesn't come out, and we know how that strategy worked for a Ferrari starting on hards 2 days ago in Tier 1. So that might be something to keep an eye on, as he seems to be on a very good track.
Just like to say, Mishak has committed into the pits. on those soft tires, he has given up. I was going to say maybe he could get dragged along here, but it doesn't seem like he's going to want to commit. Orbal now closing up with the DRS. Is he going to go for it into turn 4? No, he is being patient. Just like last week, just biding his time. But yeah, not many overtakes going on now. This is a better overtaking track than Australia, I do think. But we haven't seen much yet. But we might see some now as we see Shrek going to the outside. This is front wing damage versus front wing damage between the V-Cub and the RB. That's a very nice exit from Shrek here, as he's got a very nice switchback. Got the DRS as well. He's in front going onto the straight, and this should be an easy move unless Strawberry's able to fight back, which he is. He's got the better straight line speed without DRS and it's gone around the outside. Shrek's going to try switching back to the inside, but one Strawberry is up into B12. Very good racing from the two there.
And how fun is it to see that they both have an M-play damage, but it's mirrored. the M-play is on the both sides of each of the cars, and obviously from the same racing family. But yet the German defends really well against the Czech there. But coming back to this front, a lead battle once again. We will see Ovel wanting to close in, Speedy wanting to close in. Ioanev's gap has stalled as Ovel is already going to the pits on those mediums, trying to get an early undercut on the two guys. As Bigoshko now goes onto the AstroTurf to try and go for a move on the Ioanev, and he does get it. So that was perhaps a late move going into the braking zone from Ioanev, which prompted Bigoshko to go out of the track to try and get this move. Milking Beaufort was very close also from stealing the position from the McLaren driver, but he couldn't get it as Shrek. That's a second penalty for speeding in the pits. That's quite unfortunate. Ioanev doesn't want to give it up though, gets a better exit, gets a better traction here out of the hairpin. They make a little bit of contact. He makes a little bit of contact with the V-Carb driver, maybe trying to go for it on the inside. They get really close to each other, making contact as well. Milking Beaufort also wanting to catch some pieces from it, and actually look at JXB. He's been quietly catching up a little bit to this group, and we know he has good pace. He raced in tier 2, he had a couple of good races last season, and well, that might prompt him to get nearby all of this group and maybe fight for a podium coming the end of the race.
Yeah, a very good drive from him so far. From P19 on the grid is up 13 places into P6. It's looking very strong right now. As will anyone respond to the undercut? Daz fakes it. Speedy doesn't commit. And I was going to say, with Orbal pitting that early, I do think that means he's committing to the 2-stop. As the same way Ioanev, he's gone into the pits. I don't know if Hards can go to the end from here. If I do remember correctly, it's around 4.5%
Look at Milking Beaufort though.
But Milking Beaufort is getting really feisty. And that's a bad exit from Bigo. Going through turn 2, is he going to be able to make something work? He does have the ERS advantage, but I think he's just playing it very patient on those hard compound tires. He does now have the freshest tires on the grid. Well, not on the grid, but between the top 6. So he will be trying to utilize that pace at some point, as the mediums should be absolutely dead by now. I think they should be around in the no, not in the 40s, in the 60s maybe. But yeah, they're going to be very dead at this point in the race.
Well, yeah, that's where the hearts of Milking Beaufort will be waking up. He still has quite a nice gap to the guys in front of him. 2 seconds separating Bigoshko and Speedy and Daz. So if he does get past Bigoshko now, he won't have that much to make up to find himself planted just behind the leaders of this race, pretty much. But Obel will indeed gain a lot from that undercut. It's just a matter of if he can bring those to the end, and I also don't think he can, because, well, I saw from tier 1 they did go to lap 11, 12 even, which seems like what these guys are trying to do, as they're again faking a little bit entrance into the pit lane. Also worth to mention that we know for sure that Ioanep has committed to the two-stop as he went on to another set of mediums, as Milking Bofer went for a move down the inside, outbrake himself a little bit, so Bigoshko gets the cutback, gets the better exit, and also he got the DRS from the detection zone, and he is able to defend the position, which will spell a little bit of trouble for Bofer, but that was a mistake then from Bigoshko. I was just praising him, and he makes a mistake, and he lets Bofer pass easily, so that will be Bofer now up to P3, and most probably quickly catching up to the guys in front of him now.
Yeah, very, very crucial move there. I do feel like he was getting held up a bit by Biboshko there. But yeah, it was a very, very huge move for him to get that done. And he's not seemed to start gaining yet, but we should see it coming at some point. And especially if these two do start to battle, we'll definitely see it. But Speedy is one of the more patient drivers. We did see him last time out in Australia be very, very composed in the Aston Martin last time out. This time he's in the Williams. But yeah, very, very composed drive. Just unfortunate with the strategy that he just couldn't manage to maximize with the strategy he was on. But yeah, going onto the main straight, the gap's now 5/10 of the second. Is this going to be a fake? Oh, this is going to be a real pit stop. Daz is coming in, so is Speedy. They're pitting on the same lap. Milk and Bofa now leads the race, followed by Babushko. And that puts JXB up. Oh, never mind. He's going to pit as well. From P5, going to go into set of hards, I'd presume. It'd be pretty stupid to go into mediums from here, I think.
Yeah, indeed, but that's gonna put Soren up to P3 as our tire whisperer. Oh, actually, before as Obel just gets past him. So look at the gap Obel has been able to make, and now Ioanep finds himself in front of Daz and Speedy as well. As Bigoshko again tried for a move, tried to defend it against Milking Bofor. But Ioanep and Obel, both with a big undercut on Daz and Speedy, find themselves in front of those two. Soren, our tire whisperer, will probably try to stretch those mediums as far as he can to have a better to have better wear on the hearts coming the end of the race. But he is not a factor yet, at least in this lead battle. As Ioanep, I also mentioned Ioanep on a two-stop, but Obel will be trying to stretch those hearts then. We'll see how he can do, as probably we'll see Bigoshko pitting on this lap then.
Yeah, very much so. It'll be interesting to see if whether or not he tries to extend, maybe get dragged by a guy that will have better pace than him, but no, he's gonna come in, chuck on a set of new hards. He will have the freshest hards out of the pack behind him, which will cost him track position, but the grip is worth so much time, and it may only be a few tenths per lap, but that definitely adds up over a race distance. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. You want it with a very, very good exit there, already going for the move on Soren. Soren just with those old mediums, just trying to make them work, but he's lost out the position to both Daz and Ioanep. But now for the next straight, Ioanep won't have the DRS. Daz is going to be trying to make advantage of this. Ioanep has gone very deep into that corner. Daz is going to be trying to get the best exit that he can to try and make a position here. He's closing up in on him. Ioanep very, very low on the battery. Same with Daz. Daz isn't saving too much, and he's not able to go for it, but he was in a very, very good position as we see Misha closing in on the back of Speedy on those older hard tires, and he's already lost out. Very, very unfortunate for him. But yeah, interesting to mention, but Bigo has lost a lot of time in boxing that late to the lead runners.
Yeah, if you could, well, no, actually, Gap to the leader won't bring us anything much, as Bofer is leading. And if I just can estimate, yeah, he lost a couple of seconds to Speedy, Daz, and Ioanep. But yeah, Daz didn't lose that much as Misha gets past Soren as well. Soren will probably pit as well this lap. I'm just looking at the back of the grid a little bit. We didn't mention it at that time, but Dikix retired in the pit lane. I don't know why he retired so early. I guess he wasn't happy with his strategy, but then again, perhaps he could have made something work with a safety car or something. But so far, it's been a clean race. No safety cars, no VSC even. So we'll see how that plays out, because also Tier 1 showed us a pretty clean first half of the race, and then a safety car shook up everything. So in the latter stage of the race, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that we have learned from this season, and it is to not give up. We did see, obviously, Daz taking a very, very impressive win last time out. And Kuro from absolutely nowhere last time out. I think he was running P13 before the safety car. Managed to take his first win in GSR. Very, very huge performance for the Ferrari driver, who is now third in the championship, I believe. So he absolutely jumped up into championship contention in these early stages. But yeah, back onto the tier 3 action as we see Jibbin into the pits for the second time this race. It's just not been what he's wanted today. Very unfortunate, as I believe he'll chuck on a set of medium, so he will be 3 stopping today, which is
that's
not great.
I think he got some front wing damage or something that he had to pit very early from. So that compromised everything basically for him, as he now indeed is on mediums. But Soren, though, on very fresh hearts, will try to get some comeback, and I think he could go easily up into top 10, which would be actually a very impressive result from where he was starting from the qualifying session. Meanwhile, here Das is trying to make something out of it, make something work, but the mediums for Ioanep are working quite well. And Das obviously knows that Ioanep will have to stop once more, so he is not trying to battle it as much. I think he should get a little bit of a move on Obel. If Obel is gonna save his tires well, this 3-second gap could be quite dangerous for Das, if he isn't gonna close too quick onto the Aston Martin's driver's gearbox. Behind them, Speedy has dropped off a little bit, as did Mika. Bigoshko isn't quite able to catch up to Mika. Soren already goes past Vahur, so that's one driver down for him. And he's now gonna try to catch up to his teammate in person of Zielony.
Yeah, very, very good move there from Soren. He will be taking those hard tires to the end. Nurses mediums very, very long into the race. But Daz again closing up on Ioanep, and the longer he stays behind him, the more time he's going to lose. Ioanep is just the slow driver right now, and his tires are dying, and dying fast. But the problem is, Daz is burning, Ioanep is saving, and it's very, very hard to overtake if you don't have ERS on this game. The ERS is more powerful in the DRS, at least in my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but he's already going to be near 0%
wrong
before they even cross the start-finish line. And Ioanep's burnt a lot of battery as well. Heading into turn 1, is it going to be a drag race down into turn 4? I don't believe so. It's all going to be about the exit here. But no, Dash just can't seem to get it. And he's not really putting himself in the best position, as I think we do have Pavel Yarkovich going, and he's doing donuts.
Or I think he's trying to get back into the race, or, well, that might be unfortunately a form of rage quit. If it does disqualify him, though, it's not gonna be seen quite nice by the stewards. Let's just see. He cannot retire from the race. That would be a race ban, but he is getting a penalty. But that's not good. That's disqualification. That's gonna be for sure looked at by the stewards. Fortunately, his car is not has not been put in a weird standing position that it caused a random safety car. That is unprecedented here. Meanwhile here, Zeus is getting lapped actually. So because of all of these pit stops, he dropped off. He just let them pass before the detection zone, so where Ioanep could have gotten even more towards his defense, but he seems that he will be able to defend this position quite easily, as Zeus is also able to get past Das now.
Yeah, very, very confident on lapping himself. Bigo has overtaken Mishak. We did miss that before before he even got to turn 1. He's going to try set up the exit, see if he can maybe get him into turn 4 here, but no, he just seems a bit too far back. DRS is open, but yeah, he is not going to overtake as Pavel Jakovic leaves the session. But yeah, the race is seeming to sort of settle down a bit. Not too many people within the DRS of each other, as I do believe Speedy just got past Zeus again, which is kind of inconvenient for him, considering he did just spend quite a bit of time behind that lapped car and did lose out quite massively to the ones ahead. But yeah,
I must say, compared to Tier 1, this is quite anticlimactic in some ways. These drivers are actually putting up a pretty clean show, which I don't mind coming from the chaos of Australia, but yes, he was again letting some drivers pass. There was Bigosco getting past him, and the Haas of Mika.
so,
Yeah, sorry.
so just
Go
save
for it. Just cut in.
Just save the battery for Daz. Daz is really struggling to get a move on here. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's close, but just can't make it work.
But look at it this way. Look at how the Ioannis again going a little bit deep, but he will have the battery to defend himself. But look at it. The gap is tail. Constant 3 seconds between Ioannis and the Obel. That might be a ticket for Obel to do something. Zeus Gaming also retires, but quite respectfully in the pits, so that's nice. But Obel is pretty much running away from it. It seems like it's Daz who would have the upper hand because of the fresher tires, but Ioannis is such a massive kind of roadblock for him.
We also are going to have to remember that Oval is on those very old hard compound tires. I
know.
I do think they only go... I mean, 21 laps is possible.
Wow, I just got a deja vu. I feel like... Well, I feel like I've seen that somewhere where we were commentating and you focused the camera on Aston Martin and I'm mentioning, oh, don't count it out yet. He has older tires. I just got some kind of deja vu, like I've dreamed about it or something. Wow,
It was destined to be.
Which might say something that it might actually end in some kind of interesting way, which I hope for. As Ioannip's tires will be now dying. It's the threshold. 9-10 laps on those mediums will be the threshold of them dying. He cannot do 10 laps more. I mean, no chance. Surely.
Yeah, I could... And even if he did try to do 10 more laps, he would get disqualified for only using one tyre compound, as Ziloni makes a...
That's right. Stupid from me. That's right.
From the medium compound tyres. But yeah, Daz not being able to get past you on up here is not only letting Orbal get away, it's let Speedy come back in. And he's been very... well, not this race, but this stint he's been very slept on. Big Go's coming back very slowly because the gap was about 3.5 seconds when he left the pit lane. He's just about to get that under 2 seconds. And it's sort of coming back to him now. On those fresher hard compound tyres, he's going to be very, very racy coming towards the end of this race.
Yeah, indeed, but Ioannis might be the game changer here, because even though his mediums must be pretty used around now, look, his light is flashing, he is saving constantly, he is very good at saving battery. Look at it, 40% compared to that around 17-15%. Now 8 actually, so he's doing really well in terms of ERS saving, and now he goes into the pits actually.
No!
And that's a penalty for him. That's very unfortunate, but look at Speedy though. Speedy getting racy. Finally, they've gotten rid of Ioannis, and now Speedy wants to gain that position as quickly as possible and perhaps try to chase Obel down, who is now 4 seconds up the road actually. So this might come on to an incredible finish of this race. Speedy is not able to get past Daz yet, and now they will be trying their best to to try and cut in, shave that gap to Oval, as Oval's tires will be dying down coming the final laps of the race. This will get interesting, but Yuonep has done a massive favor towards Obo. Also, I wanted to just notice, yeah, Milking Bofer. Milking Bofer has actually now pitted onto the mediums, and he is 5 seconds away from JXB, so around 10 seconds away from Daz and Speedy. He still might get onto the podium, but it will be a very difficult task.
I just want to say, JXB's on a very, very good drive here. Almost in the top 5 from last on the grid. I don't know how many times I'm going to mention it, but an absolutely beautiful drive. But I did say don't rule him out. Big O is nearly in DRS. I think he's pushing for it. He's not going to be burning into the final corner. He's just going to miss out, but it might be as soon as next lap as he enters this lead fight. But Speedy now onto the main DRS straight. He's got the DRS. He's not going to be burning all the way down into turn 1. As we do know, he's a very patient driver. Is he going to be late on the brakes into turn 1? Maybe go for a send? No, he's not. He's going to be very patient. They do make a bit of contact as he's getting very, very close. It's all going to be about the exit here. In now he's an overtake. He might be going for it here. No, he's back to harvesting. But all this fighting, Veer goes back in the fight on those fresher medium hard compound tires. He's back in, as we do see Mishak pitting from those hard compound tires onto a set of mediums to finish off the race on this 2-stop strategy. And he's lost out a lot to Yuonep here. Despite them being on the same strategy, he's lost out quite a bit.
And look at Soren, look at Soren. They're gonna be in a fight. They're gonna be in a fight. Going down into turn 1. Soren trying to go around the outside. Soren also already in top 10, so that's already a big relief, must be, for the Alpine driver. But look at it, with the help of DRS, very late move onto the inside, a bit of a bad angle for him, and Mika cuts the door shut a little bit on the Alpine driver, so Soren is sent into a little bit of a half spin. Now Mika should be able to pull away very easily, so that was perhaps Soren's only chance, although Mika still has the penalty. I think a 3-second, that is. Yuonep also has a penalty, and they're quite far away, so it's not gonna really... I know it's here, detail, yeah. Oh no, Yuonep has the 10 seconds, that's right. So, yeah, they're not gonna be in the contention for that. Actually now Bigoshko is within the DRS of Speedy's DRS, almost going for a move on Speedy. Speedy defends it to the inside, so he tried to go for a move around the outside but couldn't quite do it. Speedy not yet able to make a move on Daz, but Bigoshko is getting impatient as he is trying to go for it, looking for a move down the inside, perhaps with a better exit, massively better line than Speedy. Great racing here in tier 3 as he is not able to get it. Speedy defends well, but also worth to mention, Milking Bofer is now 1 sec within the DRS of JXB, who has made a mistake as he was around 4 or 5 seconds away from Bigoshko. So yeah, and from then on, when he gets past, it will be 8 seconds to that train for P2 basically, with better compound and precious tires.
He's definitely making things happen at this stage of the race, as he might be able to go for a move as early as the next corner, but no, he's just going to be a bit too far, also in none. But yeah, Bigoshko on a very good drive so far, nearly got the move done there. I was going to say, if he got the move done out of the exit of turn 4, that might have been one of the best moves I've seen so far this season. Obviously, it's still early days, but it does go a lot quicker than you realise. As we go out the final corner, again, it's the same situation. Daz P2, Speedy P3, Big O P4. Who's going to be the brave one here? Try to go for a move. I think they're all low on battery here. I'm not too sure. Speedy has the most out of the lot, but we do know he's being very, very patient with the battery. I do think he's probably going to be waiting for lap 28, 29 as we see Milking Bofer getting past JXB before we even head into turn 1. JXB just struggling on those hards. They're getting kind of old as we do see a switch for P2, the lead of the train. Side by side through turn 4 they go. Daz round the outside trying to hold on to P2. He does. The Speedy lose out here to the V-Cob. No, he doesn't. The V-Cob just doesn't have the speed on exit to go for it. But it's getting feisty out in front. Speedy has started chucking moves with 7 laps to go in this race.
That was his one chance though, because now, due to all of this fighting, Oval is 4.5 seconds, 4.5 seconds down the road from them, and he's running away with it now. As we can see, the Aston Martin driver in the foreground just disappearing for a second now there. He is the leader of this race, the undisputed leader. 3 or 4 laps older tires than all of these guys in front of our screens, and the milking both were actually making it possible, gaining around 2 seconds now, since we recently checked up on that, as he is within 6 seconds of this P2 train. At Speedy there, if he got past, he could have tried to now be catching up to Obel, but they still stay stuck, as Obel will be trying to preserve his tires as much as possible. We go on to lap 24 now, only 6 laps left in this race. Milking Buffer with the fastest lap now, going to try to catch up to them, as they are not able to quite make a move on this lap then, but the laps will be ticking down for them.
Yes, I do want to mention, it's Milk and Both have found 1.1 seconds in total over the each lap over the last 2 laps. He's very, very fast at this stage in the race, but he is going to have a lot more tyre wear than those medium compound runners. I would also like to quickly mention the Orbal situation. With 6 laps left to go in this race, he's on 15 lap old hards. Now, from obviously having a race earlier on in this week, I do know the tyre wear on the hards is between 4 and 5% per lap. If we take that as about, an average, say about 9% every 2 laps, he's going to be nearing 68% on those hard compound tyres, if my maths is correct. Which isn't a great position to be in with 6 laps remaining, as he's going to be struggling quite a bit for grip.
But that's not bad though. That's not bad with a 4 seconds gap though, which is not dropping pretty much at all, which is staling. So that's not the worst. It's not puncture territory,
He will be approaching it soon though, I think, as we do see the
maybe
the big, well, the 3 that are making this race interesting. The fight for P2 once again. Going down the
look
main
at
straight.
Milking Both for 4 seconds now.
4 seconds,
3.9.
2 seconds on that lap as well. Daz has
Daz
gone wide. Oh my
so.
gosh! And he's dropped 2 positions there. Jesus, I don't know what happened to him.
Happened there?
But he's lost the RS as well. That is really bad for Daz.
As Milking Boper is now milking the RS from the lapped McLaren, I think, of Gibbet that would be. So that was quite a good usage of that, as he will be closing him massively on that. He's almost within the DRS now, as we have a battle here for the final positions outside of top 10. The Unsated going for a move around the outside into the penultimate corner. It's a fight with 2 poles against the Unsated, as Michio on the fresh softs is getting past both of them now, both Unsainted and Gelone. Michio making moves there. Unsainted now gets back at Gelone then, but they will have a tough task to go back to top 10, as Milking Bofer already gets past Daz into sector 2, and now he has only a 3 seconds gap to the 2 guys in front of him, as they are also now starting to catching up to Ovo. 3.3 the gap between the 2 leaders. Get it on, come on, oh my god.
I think something's happened to Daz has lost about 5 seconds on this lap alone. I think he's got a mechanical issue, something with his rig. I think he's coming in to retire. As we do see Big O taking P2 here, moving up a position. I really don't know what's happened to Daz. Maybe something's gone wrong with his tyres. But yeah, maybe a slow puncture.
Maybe a puncture?
I don't think so. I don't see. Yeah, he's retired in the pits.
Tires.
I think he's got something that's maybe happened with his rig, his control. I'm not too sure, but yeah, he was losing way too much time on that lap. Jesus.
Oh, Jibby, I think, made contact there with Milking Bofer going into turn 4. I think he was trying to let him go, but yeah, he did lose 1 second. Ooh, that 1 second could be the difference, because he has still, if he wants to go for the lead, he has 6 seconds to catch to Obel. But look at Big Oshko and Speedy, 2.7 now down to Obel. This race is spicing up for the final lap now.
I just want to quickly check the lap times between the front runners. If we gonna scroll any slower. With 34.6 from Orbal,
Ooh,
33.1 for Biggo, 32.0 for Milking
wow.
Bofa. 2 seconds a lap. That 1 second from Jibid might cost him, but he's looking absolutely rapid, isn't he?
Yeah, but Gibbet was also a bit in a sketchy situation. I saw he was also getting some 10-second penalties for ignoring blue flags. But well, coming down to it, Speedy has almost lost the DRS gap to Bigoshko. And Bigoshko is catching up massively to Obel now. Obel is losing it. 1.4 second is the lead now for the Aston Martin driver. As Gibbet retires now. So that's very unfortunate for him. But the Milking Bofer also again gained that second back now to Speedy. Speedy will be his first target, as also quite incredible statistic. Only one person got a corner cutting penalty. Compared to tier 1, where I think 5 drivers got a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, that's quite impressive from the tier 3 drivers here.
I do believe Jibid got one. I'm not too sure, but yeah, certainly none of the finishers will have one except. I'm not too sure. I think we could check right now.
Only Mika, because yeah, Ioana has 10 seconds. Yeah,
but,
from the speeding.
Speedy has lost DRS. Big goes in, and Milking Bofa is just about there. 2 laps remaining. This race is starting to heat up. Heading into the final corner, Biggo.
But Biggo's already in the
He's already
DRS.
there, and he's gonna have his first shot at taking the lead of this race. Orbal is going to be crying on those hard compound tires. They have nothing left. He's already low on the ERS. We saw him compose last time. Now we're seeing him face adversity, going down into turn 1. 10% battery. He's going to go to the outside. Orbal going for the move, taking the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. He's going to try stick around the outside. Orbal trying to keep his nose in. He's just not got the mechanical grip to fight it. And Biggo can run off with this race because Speedy's not even in the DRS of Orbal yet. That's another section of corners where Orbal will hold them up. Biggo's looking very good to take his first win of the season. And also quickly like to mention that Daz has braking lag from his pedals, which is what caused his retirement.
That's unfortunate for our front runner this race, but look at Oval struggling. The drop-off came massively like a floodgate on 18, 17 laps, as he is letting them pass now, so they can have a clean battle. So
he's got a puncture, I think.
To Oval now. He's got a puncture. That's why he's letting them pass. Oh my god.
I think he's got a rear right puncture, yeah. No, rear left, yeah, he's got a rear left puncture.
Yeah. So lap 18, his tires dropped off, and lap 19, 18 laps on those hard, his tires massively dropped off, and 19 laps he's getting a puncture. But look at Speedy and Bigoshko, they will be nearing that territory as we will go into the final lap. Milking Bofor will be trying to go for P2. P1 is running away a little bit from him. I think it's a bit too late, but will he be able to get past Speedy at least? He's getting massively closer, going on to the start-finish straight now. With the DRS, with the ERS, let's see, Milking Bofor, it should be an easy move for the Ferrari driver. He gets it, but can he make it 2 Ferrari wins out of 2 in GSR for this round, as he has a tough task ahead of him? 1.8 seconds to Bigoshko, but the gap is dropping. Massively. Let's see what he can do for sector 2. That's where he will gain the most. 1.8, the gap stales a little bit. Obel having to pit is coming out in P7 now. Yuoneb is going for a move down the inside on Jakes. Beyond the final lap, they make a little bit of contact. Yuoneb will obviously drop back with the 10-second penalty, but at least he gets it on track. Very nice move. And he's the second one to get a 3-second corner cutting penalty. But now look at Milking Bow for 1.3 seconds. Going through the final corners of the race. I think it is too late. I think he's not gonna be able to do that. But what a drive from Bigoshko. That will be 1.2 seconds, 1.1. If he just had one more lap, that could have been it. But going into sector 3, as Micho retires, I think that is a big off for him there. as he's stationary on the circuit, but now going into the final corners of the race, milking both for 1.1 second. It's not enough. Bigoshko will win this race for the V-Carb team as the pole takes his first win of the season, milking Bofer with P2 and Speedy in Pre-3. That concludes our podium. Incredible results for them as Uwanep goes down to the finish line and finishes his race as well.
Wow.
In P4 on the track.
What a race. And JXB from P19 will take P4. Take a bow. Mishak jumps off into P5 after Uwanep's absolute huge penalty. Very unfortunate day for Orbal. He will take P7, which will become P8 after the 10-second penalty. Soren is going to take P7 here. Not on track, but after penalties. Very, very solid points here. But wow, what a race here in Bahrain. Milking both are absolutely making things happen on that alternate strategy.
I just came back. The stream crashed for a moment there for me. But yeah, I guess you were mentioning about the top 10. Well, Soren up to P7. I'm quite impressed by that. But obviously JXB up to P4. Thanks to all those penalties. After the quali ban he had to serve from Australia. Yeah, quite a beautiful drive from the Sauber driver.
Very much so. And that will conclude the results from the Tier 3 race. It has been a very interesting one. Yeah, as I was saying, the alternate strategy from milking Bofa, if he just didn't have that incident with Jibbid, who knows what could have been. Maybe a double race win for Ferrari.
That was the 1 second he lost. Oh wow, that's some big implications from the lapped car of Jibbid, because indeed ghosting is off.
Yeah.
So I think I saw the contact. Ooh. Yeah, that's huge actually.
Very, very huge. But like he said last week, he's out to make a name for himself. He's out to try fight for a championship, and he's doing just that. He's putting himself in a prime position. But there we have it. That's our results for round 2 of Tier 3. Very, very good race. We've got Big O taking the win, milking both at P2, Speedy in P3, JXB in P4 from P19. Very good result. Mishak P5, Iona P6, Soren taking P7 from 16th on the grid. Very, very good race. Orbal not able to convert that pole into win, finishing P8. Unsated remains P9. Johnny in P10. Should go back down to bottom. P11 is Vihor. One Strawberry P12, Shrek P13, Michio in P14, Daz P15 after a very unfortunate race, Jibba P16, Zeus P17, DKS P18, and yeah, Pavel Vujakovic ended his race in interesting fashion to be our last finisher.
Yeah, indeed. Well, actually, it's so fun to see that because of all those debutants. By the way, I have mentioned them for the podium interviews, but because of all those debutants, now we have 4 poles and 3 checks in Tier 3 racing. So the Slavic region dominating Tier 3 most surely in terms of numbers, as kind of Great Britain, the UK is dominating Tier 1, and then I would say Germany is quite big in Tier 2. But yeah, let's see if we can get someone in. I think we can switch over.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. I will try to mention them once again.
Can you just also remind me what team? So we had a V-Carb 1, Ferrari P2, and Williams P3, no?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Williams, indeed.
Oh yeah, what a race that was. Yeah, it's just another one of those what could have been with the situation for Milk and both. A very, very good drive. It's just you couldn't get converted.
Okay, we have Speedy. We have both were in. Nice. That's nice. Welcome, guys. And then we're just waiting for Bigoshko, I think.
Yes.
Uh, Okay, we have Bigoshko.
Sweet.
Okay. Um, Welcome, guys. Then, okay. So let's start from Speedy. I guess you don't mind me starting, Matt.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Welcome then, Speedy. That was, by the way, quite rapid from all of you to join podium interviews. Thank you very much. But welcome, Speedy. Well done on your podium in the Williams this time, and this time a better drive than even better drive than Australia, from which you were quite happy. To talk us through this race and talk us through how do you feel after earning that podium?
Uh, I can say honestly, this time I didn't do the dumb strategy that I did in Australia. Uh, um, it's felt, my tires it started out good and everything. I'm surprised there was no safety cars because I was kind of banking on the safety car coming. The second stint, I had to try to kind of like, ease in with the hards and stuff and not really push too hard because I kind of wanted them to last. Because I felt if I would have kept pushing like I did the first stint, then I probably would have, had a puncture or something. But this is one of my like terriblest tracks. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm happy that I, did pretty well today. GG's to the first and the second place winner. It was definitely good racing. Yeah, I'm just, more happy than I was last time for sure.
Yeah, indeed, and I'm also um, wondering. You were very patient most of the time, most of this race. It may have brought you a podium, but do you think you could have managed something better than that? Do you think you could have managed perhaps even a win in those conditions out there?
Uh, Honestly, yeah, I could have. I just always, it don't matter what race I be in. I just feel like if I stay patient, things will come to me. Cause it's a lot of times I've tried to like like overly do it and stuff like that, and I end up spinning out or spinning somebody else out. So I was just trying to really play it safe and stuff. But I feel like if I would have played it more aggressive than I did, I feel like I could have probably got second or maybe a win. But things worked out fine though.
I see. Well, then, if you're saying the things were tough, you must be happy anyways. But then I want to ask, after getting those good drives, even though with that strategy, something that happened in Australia, and getting this podium today, do you think you could be a championship contender here throughout the whole stretch of the calendar?
That's a little bit of a stretch. We definitely have some quick guys in tier three that I have to watch out for and take accountability of. Far as like championship contender, that's kind of a far stretch. But if I continue to stay consistent and pick my stuff up from here on out, I mean, I don't see a problem with it happening.
I see. Well then, that's a hopeful outlook, I would guess then. Matt, do you have any other question?
Yeah. First and foremost, great race from you. Very well managed. So congrats on the P3.
Thank you.
My question would be, so obviously you've just said that you don't know what the chances of you fighting for a title are, but this is your second race in a row where you have been in contention with Milking Bofa for a very good result. Obviously, very unfortunate last time out in Australia, but yeah, you fought with him last time out. This time out, you fought with Big O as well. So who do you see as your main sort of like contenders throughout the rest of the season? Who do you see yourself going side by side with quite a bit in trying to fight for those podiums and maybe even a win this season?
Uh, I could say Big O. Basically the people that I was fighting with today, the top four, top five. That's gonna probably be my biggest challenges, to be honest. I have to say the Sabo was coming. I mean, he had a great race, even though he didn't get a podium. But I could tell he's very quick himself. So I can't sleep on him either. So it's a pretty good chunk of guys in here that can give me a run for my money. So I have to just be accountable for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. That's all the questions I have. But yeah, once again, great drive.
Thank you.
Indeed, from me as well. And Matt, do you wanna take this one over?
Yeah, I shall. So, over to our P2
Yeah, go
finisher.
for it.
Milking Bofa, making things again happen for the Ferrari team in the combined constructors. Welcome to the podium interviews once again. The only driver, I think, to have a 100% podium rate this season. So, congrats on that. And yeah, first of all, the alternate strategy. We just have to talk about that. Yeah, how did it feel to just be on that set of medium tires so far back and just know that every single lap just counts, and you just have to keep clawing away at that gap to try and take that race win, which you're so close to getting.
Yeah, man, it was nerve-wracking. Like I dragged the hards out to 20 laps to try and have the best chance for the mediums to be as quick as possible. And I know what the hards are like once they get old, and they die quickly around lap 18, 19. So I saw the lads were struggling ahead. I was gaining so much time. So I just tried to keep the head down and just catch Speedy, catch Big O's, catch whoever was in front of me one at a time. That was all I wanted to do, and stay out of trouble. I had a small bit of trouble. I thought I was getting let go, but I'm not sure what happened. I think it was a McLaren. I don't know what happened there. But other than that, it was fine.
Yeah. And yeah, once again, you did say you took them about 20 laps. Yeah, so do you think there could have been anything done differently? Because maybe, you know, a lap earlier, that could have been the second that you needed to take that race win, because you were very, very close in the end.
Yeah, I think not even a mistake. It was more so everyone around me at the start started on mediums. So in my head, I just wanted to try and stick with whoever I could as best as I could. And I think around lap 3 or 4, I lost DRS to somebody, and I knew then and there I'd have a deficit later on. So I think that was the only mistake or the only thing that happened. Because by the end of it, then I was a second behind, and I lost a second more with that DRS slipping up on me.
Yeah, for sure.
I could not drag those tires longer. They were over 80% on the rears and 60 at the front. I was terrified.
Jesus. Yeah, that is quite some tire wear. And I won't try to hog too many questions, so this will be my last one. But like I asked you last time, the championship, you did say last time that you're here to fight, and you've sort of reinforced that this weekend. So with the changes that have been going on in the tier, obviously you have the likes of Waters and Callum being promoted, Dad's having his conditions of lower assists to sort of keeping competitive with the rest of the field. How are you feeling in terms of fighting for the championship over the course of the season, and obviously who do you think your main contenders will be?
Well, if it keeps going the way it's been going since Australia and today, then I will be there come the end, hopefully. And if I can, I will. I'll do my best to be there if I can. And in regards to him fighting, I don't think that is even with the assists can be counted out. I think what happened there tonight was more so tyre wear, lower assists. He wasn't used to it, and it just kind of screwed his race. But the young fellas are rapid. So was Big O's, clearly. And then Speedy, to be fair, it's in the name. He was P2 until I caught up to him, so he is fairly quick. The boys know how to race. That's the main thing. At least the top 6, top 7, who I've been raced with constantly, know how to race. It's good crack. They're all contenders.
Yeah, for sure. They're all very rapid. Matt, any questions?
Well, yeah. I wanted to ask more so about your feelings towards the final 2 laps of the race, because you were just about to perhaps overtake Bigoshko one more lap, and you would have perhaps had it quite easily also because of the tire difference was massive. So the strategy plan was good, but I want you to mention, did you have a contact with a lap car of Gibbet, if I saw correctly? And does that frustrate you? Because I think you lost a second there. And do you think that might have been that second that prevented you from going at Bigoshko on that final lap, getting close to him before the final corners and perhaps getting a chance at the win?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it definitely made a difference. In the moment, it pissed me off. But like 2 corners later, I just thought racing is racing. I wasn't spun out. I held the car. But I did see the time go from 1.9 back to 2.9, and I knew I was like, damn it, anyway. That's after costing me big time in the run of things. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened though. I thought he pulled over to let me go. I don't know if he was letting me go or if he was playing DRS games. I really don't know. Because I have it clipped anyway, so I'll send it in if I need to, but I don't know what happened. Well, shall we forget about it when we move on?
Well. It's not that if you need to, every incident is being reported on the driver's requests. So, if you do want to report that, you can. You have the free will to do so. But if you don't want to, if you want to leave it, you can. Just wanted to mention. But yeah, but I see. It might have been quite frustrating. Do you have anything to say about that or about the final lap? Just for the
Yeah,
stream or something.
I wish there was one more lap. I wish there was one more lap. Because it does seem like 2 seconds that cost me were simply losing out to DRS and then that little incident with the McLaren. But one more lap, though, I would have been curious to see what could have happened. I really, same as Australia, one more lap.
I get that. Yeah, nice. Well then, still congratulations on your P2 finish, and the second podium of the season. And well, good luck in the next races.
Thank you very much, boys.
Yeah, and from me, congrats on the podium. And yeah, unlucky today. I would have really loved to see 2 Ferrari wins this weekend, both in very similar fashion with the alternate strategy. But hey, maybe next week is your week. So yeah, congrats.
Cheers, boys.
Well, indeed, that's if you don't mind. Indeed, that's 2 alternate strategies that almost won one race and almost won another in GSR. Are we getting into an era towards the end of that game where alternate strategies work better?
I'm not too sure.
Quite sure.
I'm not too sure.
But well, going on to that, we have our finally race winner. Bigoszko, welcome I gratulacje.
Thanks.
So I'm very happy, of course, because I'm Polish. So very happy to see finally another pole win in GSR. So yeah, talk us through that race because you were finding yourself around the middle of top 10, around P6, P4, P5, and then at the end of the race you managed to get past Speedy. You managed to take advantage of Daz's problems, and then in the end Milking Buffer lost it out and couldn't catch you. And so how do you feel about it? How do you feel about this win then?
Yeah, first of all, I was at the start P2, and I think I overfueled a little. And at the start, I lost 5 positions at the first lap, so it was pretty tough. I was constantly in the awkward lines because somebody was challenging me, and yeah, I lost a lot of time there. And after the whole lap 1 concluded, I started to gain some positions, stabilize my lap time, and I also had quite awkward moment at the one of the turns after the first DRS, or rather second DRS, where somebody forced me out of the track and I half spun. So yeah, it was hard race for me. I was honestly convinced I wouldn't make it into the podium, and I somehow went with a win. So I think it was quite alright result of this all. What to add?
Well, I could ask about those incidents further because you did have, I think it was perhaps Mika of Haas that collided with you into turn 4 on one of the laps and made you lose a little bit, or perhaps it was Yuonop of McLaren. I don't exactly remember, but but well, are you? Well, it seems like you're forgetting about it also, so you're perhaps not frustrated. But I want to ask, are you perhaps thinking about it? Are you frustrated over them, or perhaps that when incline you to kind of forget about it and just soak in the race win?
I mean, I'm not really frustrated, but I think I will make a ticket about it because I was literally there and he thought I wasn't. I don't know. I was right alongside him and he drove like I wasn't there. So I think I will do the ticket.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's nice to hear. A little bit of drama on the
Yeah.
stream from the interviews. I have maybe one more question, but I want to see what Matt asks. So, Matt, on to you. And if you don't ask that, then I will ask one more after.
Yeah, first and foremost, congrats on the win. Very, very huge result for you.
Yeah, thanks.
My first question, obviously, when in doubt, ask about the championship. You are now the second driver to take a race win in this tier. And yeah, the race did sort of fall away from you at one point. You were very far away
Yeah.
from the front runners after your first pit stop. But you just started clawing back away at that gap. And then once you got past Orbal, it was just a case of you just extending that gap. So how confident do you feel in taking the fight to some of these top guys and maybe even pushing for a championship?
Yeah, honestly, I think the chances are quite high because at the Australia I had a lot of pace, but I don't know why I got disqualified from the qualifications. Somebody was on this hot lap of theirs, and I was driving out of the pit, so I stopped on the pit lane exit, and yeah, I stopped and I was disqualified. I don't know what should I do in this situation. But yeah, and in the race I simply lost traction and slammed into the wall. So I think the pace is here. So I think I have some chances of taking the World Driver Championship in the T3. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And my last question will be, I'm trying not to take Matt's question. But yeah, with fighting some of the front runners today, obviously you had your fight with Orbal, with Daz, all of the drivers. The racing was very, very clean, but also very, very intense. So who do you see as main sort of contender that you'll be fighting with for the majority of the season?
Yeah, I think it will be Daz if he won't be disqualified from this league, to be honest, because he has he has a lot of pace.
Yeah.
I'm sometimes practicing with him, and he's something else.
Yeah, he's quite rapid. Matt,
I think also, the brake failure of his, and because it was brake failure from what I heard from him, gave me a lot of chances. Because otherwise, I think I would be in this train of cars to the end of the race. Because I couldn't overtake them otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. Matt, do you still have your question?
Actually, you asked my question, but and your question, Avro. So I guess as your race winner, we could ask one more about that train. So do you think you were perhaps lost? And well, Obel got a puncture in the end. So if you would have stayed like that behind the dust, kind of stuck, you and Speedy, do you think it would have changed a lot? Do you think you all would have stayed where you are, or perhaps Milking Beaufort would have gotten all of you quicker and maybe gotten the race win if you didn't have that chance to overtake Speedy and pull away from him, you know?
Yeah, it could be a decider, to be honest. I think if Speedy was the second, right? No, Milky Buffer.
Milking Beaufort.
If he had one more lap or two, it could be really tough for me.
Okay, that's a confirmation then, and that's fair enough. So yeah, that will be all from me then. Thank you for that, and once again, congrats on your win.
Yeah, thank you. Polska Górą.
Yeah.
Polska Górą! Tak.
And yeah, from me as well, congrats on the win. Very, very huge result for you.
Yeah, thanks.
And that concludes round 2 of the Tier 3 Championship. And yeah, what a race we had. Any final thoughts, Matt?
I'm sorry. I just read a comment of mine from today that Hapalito mentioned in quotations as milking both is milking the RS right now off of Gibbet. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I had to do that. I think that will be all from me. Then I think I don't have to say anything more. Just thank you for anyone who tuned in, basically.
Yeah, very interesting race today as we see a lot more people coming into contention for the race win and eventually what will lead to a championship. So that is not all for this week, and be sure to tune in for tomorrow, 6 p.m. I believe, where we will see Tier 2 take on the Bahrain International Circuit, and your hosts for tomorrow will be Aid F1 and and who's
Yes,
the second
Rizard.
co-commentator?
I
And
think
Rizard.
so. Yes.
Rizard's co-commentator for
Rizard,
tomorrow. And next week for Tier 3, we will have the normal cast returning of Aid as the main commentator and me as your backup. So that's all for me today. Very, very good race. So yeah, that's me, MM Overdrive. Alongside me today was the other Matt, and thank you all for tuning in and have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Matt evening.